Alright, what is going on, guys? TYBW back again, coming at you with man, not even a should you summon, but just pretty much a little breakdown on what I believe to be the most valuable characters in this game. Now, for me personally, it's about power as well as the speed in which a character can farm. So a character that, in my opinion, for example, has high value is a character like this Uryu, which we'll discuss in length. And also on top of that, I'm obviously going to be talking about Toshiro and talking about Retsu, and I'm going to be breaking this down for every single attribute. So this video might be relatively long because I do want to discuss, and for those that are new, I do want you to understand how I determine value in a character. And it's not just, oh yeah, this character deals more damage than this character, so this character is 100% better. I don't believe that at all. I think KLab has done, in my opinion, a good job in terms of providing value to characters despite not necessarily being all that strong. So let's just get right into it, and we're going to start off with tech. So first we're going to talk about Uryu. Uryu was released with the Ichigo, Chad, and Uryu 1000 Year Blood War banner, which is currently being re-released. I still believe that you should summon on that banner after we get end of the month news, so you can make an informed decision on whether or not you actually want to summon on this banner or you want to summon on end of the month. There's going to be some people that will see end of the month and be like, oh yeah, you know what, I want to spend 5,000 orbs on this, but I spent 2,200 on this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you guys to just burn your orbs. I think that you guys should make decisions on burning your orbs as you know, with the most information that you possibly could get. That being said, if you have a favorite character, like I see some people summoning for Rukia, you know, like I don't personally think she's all that great. I don't think she's bad. I just don't think she's all that great at all. But I can see, like, if it's your favorite character, then you're probably gonna summon. Same thing with Ichigo. Like, I really want this character, but he doesn't really provide any value to my account because he has power droplets and super link slot and regular power link slot potions. But I do just fine on speed date anyways, and I'd rather either use my 5/5 Retsu, or I'd rather use Hanataro, who also provides pretty much the same thing and doesn't cost me orbs because I don't want to spend that many orbs right now. I want to wait for end of the month. So let's just begin. We're going to start with tech, and I want to talk about Uryu. Now, Uryu has a Pierce Iron Skin, which makes him one of the best units for IT because he doesn't have to worry about Iron Skin, which means he's going to deal 5 times damage as opposed to literally anybody else. So Toshiro, for example, he needs to proc his status elements to deal the damage that Uryu is going to deal outright, which I think is really, really good value. Same thing with Retsu. Retsu's going to deal good damage in IT, but not only does Uryu bypass that whole mechanic, he also gets super link slot potions +5 as well as regular link slot potions +5. So great for IT. For droplet zone, he still has the speed droplet drop 30%, which is excellent. And then on top of that, he has all 3, which makes him a good contender for content like epic raids as well. So I personally give this character a full stamina damage boost as well as weakened defense, just so that way he can just destroy stuff in epic raids. This character has technique attribute strong attack damage +20%. So even if you're using a character that's farming epic raids, who's a good tech droplet unit? A tech droplet unit that also has potions. Is it just Uryu? I can't personally think of a character that has potions and droplets. I know that Rose has droplet drop Link, but he doesn't have the stuff to farm it. Like, he doesn't have potions, he just has the droplet drop, which is good. Grimjaw only has potions in epic raids. In IT, he does have super potions, but I still think bypassing that whole mechanic because he doesn't have increased status element chance makes Uryu a far better option for that. Orihime gives potions. So yeah, no, I think that he's like one of the best farmers. Like, he's literally one of the best farmers in the game, and he was designed around that. He's the first of his kind. I call this the farming cycle. So we have Uryu as well as let me see, because we have quite a few farming cycle characters right now. So we have Uryu, we have Kaname, and we have, where's the last farming cycle? Yeah, and then we have Mind Ulquiorra. Now, these characters, in my opinion, provide so much value to an account just because it literally will help you speed up how you farm, right? Like, this character also has droplets, link slot potions, super link slot potions. So that, in my opinion, is the farming cycle that I personally like. Next, we have Toshiro, one of the strongest characters in the entire game. Status element spiritual pressure boost +80%, but that's not really what makes him OP. If he procs his status element, which he doesn't need to, which is why I think he's really, really strong, is he has Frenzy, Berserker 40%, and then he has the gauge mechanic. Ever since they buffed the gauge mechanic, that's really, really, really strong, considering this character also has full stamina, only increased strong attack damage +40%. and a built-in damage inflicted at full stam 20%. This meaning that this character, he has Frenzy, he has full stamina damage boost 45% at T20. Let's be real here, you're going to T20 this character, he's a god. Then he has full stamina only increased strong attack damage plus 40%. You're going to want to heal, but he has that built into him with his gauge mechanic. The gauge will only heal himself, and then he gets that strong attack recharge when it triggers. And he has Berserker 40%. On top of that, if he procs a status element, then he gets an additional 80% spiritual pressure where he'll deal a lot more damage, and he has Marauder. This character is incredibly strong. My only issue with this character is he has very, very, very inconsistent damage. If you played with Yamamoto at 1 out of 5, like obviously 5 out of 5 is going to be like one-shotting everything, but if you played with Yamamoto 1 out of 5, you can see how inconsistent it is to pick up his spiritual pressure boost. Now imagine if Yamamoto had the gauge mechanic plus an extra 40% damage even if the enemy did not get a status element. That's literally this Toshiro. So I do think that Toshiro is better than Yamamoto. Yamamoto is still a better nuker, but it's honestly kind of a moot point. Either way, both these characters are going to be on this list, on my list here, just because I think that these characters, in my opinion, I don't know if it's a must-have, but these characters are super, 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 super strong. Then we have Retsu, because I'm sure people are going to be bringing up Retsu, like, oh, what about Retsu? Does she compete? Honestly, the fact that this character has Frenzy +2, Weaken, and Drain, literally some of the most broken status elements, especially when they're together. Alright, so then on top of that, she has Frenzy +2, which means she gets multiple hits, which means it's very, very easy to get her Drain to proc off. Damage inflicted at full stam 45%, because you're going to T20 her anyways. Double weaken defense for content like epic raids or whatever you need. If you don't want to go the double weaken defense route, honestly, it's not really a bad idea since she doesn't really provide farming value. She's just, she's just an overall really strong unit, right? But where she does, in my opinion, differentiate herself is the fact that she has full stamina only, reduced strong attack cooldown 6%. This is incredibly strong because in farming content like the point event, this character gets her first strong attack with SAR 14 links maybe every 2.5-3 seconds, which means that you can literally just keep popping off your first strong attack non-stop. And since she does have the Frenzy +2 along with Drain, she's pretty much at full HP the entire duration of the point event, so you can just run her with speed links and speed accessories, and she, excuse me, not speed links, speed accessories, just so that she can fly through point events a lot faster. She does incredibly well at 1 out of 5. At 2 out of 5, she does even better. But yeah, I personally love this character. I have mine 5 out of 5, so I might be a little bit biased there. But either way, I think that Toshiro, Retsu compete very, very well for the top tech slots. And I think that Uryu just is a very, very high value unit that you definitely want on your account at some point. Next, we're going to talk about heart characters. And heart characters, honestly, there are so many great heart characters now. Kaname has the Drain mechanic, so keeping his healing up to par is really, really easy for him. He also has Frenzy +2, so very, very consistent healing, which is awesome. Havoc +20%, which is obviously good. Sprinter +1, Freeze immunity. Now going into his actual skills, Heart attribute character movement speed +30%, so you definitely want a lot of strong attack recharge on him. He has the homing vortex on his second strong attack, which is really good. Unfortunately, he has Byakuya's 5th anniversary Byakuya's first second strong attack combo, where it's the 18% mag for strong attack. But unlike 5th anniversary Byakuya, this character has frenzy +2, so it's a lot more hits on the first strong attack. And since you're also getting that range collision of the first strong attack, the chances of him fully healing up to like full and then getting all of his full stam back, because you're probably going to run him with full stam and a damage boost because he can keep his full stam, is really, really, really consistent. Guard break plus hit hidden enemies, and then on top of that, he's one of the farming cycle units where he has droplets, link slot potions, super link slot potions for the proper attribute. Now he does have a no affiliation killer, which I felt kind of upset, because if you look at the other characters that were released in that banner, they also have 2 killers. So you'll see here Soul Reaper as well as Squad Zero killer, and then when I go over here, I should be able to pull it up right at the top, we have Sajin, who has a human and no affiliation killer, so literally designed for Chad as well as Yuha, right? But I personally like this Kaname a lot. I think that he provides a ton of value, not only to your account, but to the fact that this character is going to just help you farm much faster. Alternatives to this character are honestly going to be Swimsuit Ikasane, because you're going to be farming IT with Kaname, or you can run the 1000 Year Blood War Ichigo as the carry, even though Kaname, in my opinion, doesn't really need a carry, but you can run Ichigo as a carry, and then you can have Isane for farming epic raids, right? This girl provides link style potions and droplets, so for epic raids in particular, I still think she's 100% worth working on, unless you obviously pulled Kaname. That being said, I also still like seeing at least one Isane in the lobby, just because she provides the healing, and sometimes you lose your full stamina damage boost when you're auto. Frenzy +2 and homing vortex, you're probably not losing your full stamina damage boost still, but still. Either way, I do like this Isane. I think she's pretty good. I don't think she's a must-have, I just wanted to mention her. So she's like an honorable mention when I'm talking about this Kaname. Next, the Ichigo, really strong character. This character pretty much has Frenzy +5 damage. Now, when we talk about characters that have Frenzy +1, Frenzy +2, we talk about Frenzy, Berserker, full stamina damage boost. This character not only has Frenzy +2, but he gets an irrevocable damage to enemies +100% if they don't get inflicted with a status element. Which, since he doesn't have a status element anyways, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? This character has hidden enemies, pierce iron skin, and he has guard break because he has Marauder, so he also nullifies melee immunity resistance, and then he also gives his entire team complete status immunity. That's why when I bring up this character, I see a lot of people want to say, oh, who's better, Toshiro or Ichigo? And in my opinion, the reality is why not both? Like, the fact of the matter is, both these characters have completely different killers. Even though both of them are melee, them having different killers, different attribute, different utility is just really good to have them both. And that's what I was talking about when it comes to this game. Caleb has made value in a lot of different attributes and a lot of different areas of the game. Like, you're not going to want to see a lot of Toshiro's, like say next month when he's not bonus in epic raids, you're not going to want to see a bunch of him in epic raids when you have the option of having someone with a Uryu, right? So I mean, like, you have that. Now, if you don't have Ichigo, honestly, you're not really falling that far behind if you're still using 6th Anniversary Aizen. 6th Anniversary Aizen, in my opinion, is still a beast and still a king, even though he's almost a year and a half old, if not a year and a half old now. Damage inflicted at full stam 45%, Frenzy +2, weakening and drain. I told you guys how strong of a combo that is. The fact that you're healing while at the same time dealing 50% more damage to the enemy is stupidly OP. Hidden enemy chance, sharpshooter, havoc, like, and then he has dual killer too. Really good. But I do want to talk about this Ichigo because I feel like him and Toshiro are just like two sides of a coin that you kind of just want on your roster. On top of that, this Ichigo does have Team Party recover 20% stamina, as well as 100% chance to read all affiliation dodge, which I think is very useful. He also has Sprinter +2 and Long Stride, meaning that he's fast. He's really fast. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about in terms of Ichigo. Just really good. Now, for those that are wondering why I say Frenzy +5 damage, this character, if I click here, times, let's say you deal 100 damage, right? You're going to deal times 3, because Frenzy +2 means 3 hits per strong attack. And then he gets times 100 damage, then he gets plus 100% damage, which is times 2. So then you have 600. So he pretty much has Frenzy +5 damage because he doesn't have Berserker, which means that as you stack on a little bit of Berserker links, this scales even higher. And if you want to give him full stamina damage boost links, this scales even higher, just as high. So yeah, he pretty much has Frenzy +5 damage, and people tend to forget about that. As simple as that. Next, Aizen, really strong. Beam, homing vortex, full screen third strong attack. Honestly, one of the best kits, if not the best kit in the game. Nothing, no negatives to say about this character. That's pretty much it. Yoruichi did come out. Now we don't have a farming cycle character for power just yet. This character recently came out. I don't think she's a must-have. I'm just bringing her up as an honorable mention because as we start to get a farming cycle for the power characters, her droplet drop link might actually be pretty useful. She also has technique, link slot potions +5. So I mean, I think she's okay. I just wanted to bring her up simply just to bring up the farming cycle type character that we don't have yet. Next, we have Nozomi, who also has technique led drop +30% and link slot potions +5. Premium pool character as well, so I think she provides a lot of value to an account. I don't recommend summoning specifically for her. If you pull her with Brave Soul tickets, cool. That's literally all I wanted to bring up. Next, I wanted to bring up Momo. Super Link Stop potions, not really much to mention there. She's not very good. Honestly, I'm not going to bullshit y'all. She's not really a must-have character. She's just currently the only Super Link Stop potion character for power. When we get a farming cycle character, potentially at the end of the month, or potentially at the end of next month, I personally think that we're not going to get a farming cycle character for end of the month, because we did get Yoruichi for mid-month December, and then for speed we just got this Ichigo, so I don't think they're going to try to cannibalize their sales yet. We'll see how that goes. And of course I did want to talk about Yamamoto. Yamamoto is literally the strongest hitting nuke in the entire game. He can proc his status element spiritual pressure boost relatively easily thanks to his second strong attack also being the homing vortex. He has 2 killers as well. The damage to burning enemies plus 40% and damage to weakened enemies plus 40% is additive, so if they're weakened and burned, you're getting plus 80% damage. He has Berserker 40%, Frenzy, Spiritual Pressure boost 80%, Shared Complete Status Immunity, which we talked about that with Ichigo. I don't think that I actually brought it up with Toshiro, because he also has it. It's just Toshiro has so much going on. Like, this Toshiro is just a beast, bro. Like, I really do think that this Toshiro, in my opinion, is better than this Yamamoto. I see a lot of people talking about it. He's not a better nuke. Alright, not a better nuke. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, but Yamamoto's nuke, Yamamoto's nuke. Yamamoto's nuke is literally for GQ, and that's about it. It's like, oh yeah, but he one-shots waves. It's like, bro, Toshiro's gonna one-shot waves too, trust me. When the enemies have a total combined HP pool of 1,000, you don't need Yamamoto dealing 48 million, okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Either way, Yamamoto's an absolute beast. Not really much to talk about him. Beam, Vortex, full screen, third strong attack, same as 6th anniversary Aizen. Really, really good. Dodge, hollow damage 50%, Havoc 20%, Sprinter plus 2. I love Sprinter plus 2. And he also has Marauder, so very, 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 very good. Next, I want to talk about the farming cycle for speed a little bit, because we still don't have a farming cycle character. But for speed, we actually have Akon for farming IT, right? We have super power link stop potions and power link stop potions, and this character also has increased status element chance against power attribute enemies plus 10%. He has burn / lacerate, which is kind of interesting, but kind of good for IT in particular. In IT, the enemies are almost always resistant. No, the enemies have always been resistant to one status element, whether it be drain, burn, whatever. Like if I click here and I click here, you'll see. There we go. Hazards are burn, enemy resistances drain. So you can't drain the enemy. So a character like Kaname is not going to be doing all that well there. Kaname is still a beast. Not saying that he's not a beast, and I still would use him to farm. That being said, Akon doesn't really have to worry about it too much because he has 2 status elements on different attacks. Personally, I really, really love farming characters that have 2 status elements because of the IT resistance. Like if the enemies are immune to weaken, which I don't think they have been yet, which is funny, then you can fall back on the burn. If the enemies are immune to burn, you can fall back on the weaken. But then again, you also have characters like Toshiro who only have freeze. So if the enemies are immune to freeze, it really sucks because he can no longer get this status element spiritual pressure boost, not even with his soul bomb, right? So Akon's replacement, honestly, you can use Noelle. I think that Akon is just better just because you have increased status element chance against all enemies, not just necessarily one. Speed attribute character strong attack damage plus 20%. If they're inflicted with a status element, deal 40% extra damage to them. He has Quincy Killer, but since he is not limited to attacking Quincy's, it's really good. If the enemies are hollow or no affiliation, honestly, Noelle will probably do a bit better. But honestly, I don't know, man. Akon's just, in my opinion, Akon's just straight up worth working on. Now, Noelle is a really, really good bombing unit too, because you do have the revive mechanic, you have the weakening, you have bombardment, then you also have the status element spiritual pressure boost, so she should pick up her spiritual pressure boost there. Overall, just a really good character, but she's not very readily available, and Akon is also a premium pool character, so the chances of you getting him 5 out of 5 over time is also a bit higher. Now, he doesn't have droplets, the droplet drop, which is why I'm going to be bringing up Hanataro. Now, I don't think that any of these characters are quote-unquote must-have characters. I'm just bringing up farming potential here, because we don't have a farming cycle character. Now, Ichigo has the power droplet drop as well as link stop potions, and Hanataro also has power link stop potions, but he has the power droplet drop 30% link. Now that's really good to know because you can link him to the Ichigo, and Ichigo also has weakened defense. Now I don't think it's worth summoning for this Ichigo. I think he's one of those characters where you pop the first multi, hope for the best on the main banner and on the individual, and if you get him, cool. If not, you just move on and you continue either using Hanataro, Noel, or Akon to farm epic raids. Next, I want to talk about the OP speed units, and these characters in my opinion are relatively must-have, and fortunately these characters in my opinion shouldn't cost you any more orbs than you need to spend. I don't think that you should summon specifically for these characters if they're on a banner. I think that these characters are good to pull if you pull them. Now they both have weakening, and also honestly both of these characters are just straight up overwhelmingly strong, and they're both in the premium pool, where you have 7th anniversary Quincy Uryu, and then you also have the speed Espada Ulquiorra. Dude, this character is such a crackhead, bro. Alright, so going into this character, his kit is the 3000 length beam, the good beam. His second strong attack is going to be the 750 by 630. I believe this is a lunge. No, actually this is the homing vortex, excuse me. But he has a weird homing vortex. Instead of being a 960 AoE, it's a 750. It's a 750 radius, but it actually holds you in place. Normally, the homing vortexes, you can pop off your second strong attack and immediately start flash stepping. This character holds you in place for a good like 1.5 seconds. And that could be the difference between life and death when you're farming, but he does have the invincibility frames when you're popping a strong attack, so that when you're farming, I'm talking about epic raids in particular, where your invincibility frames don't mean diddly doody to the boss. Third strong attack, standard full screen, third strong attack. I do like this character a lot. Going into his soul tree, he has sharpshooter, long stride, sprinter +2, so he's super fast when it comes to running. What does Uryu have? Do you have? I believe he has sprinter 2, long stride 2. Yeah, so Uryu also has sprinter 2, long stride, team party, recover 20% stamina, and he also has drain. Now, what I want to talk about is Ulquiorra has frenzy +1, status ailment, spiritual pressure boost +80%. He's also a team nuker with the bombardment, berserker 40%, speed attribute Arrancar, damage to status ailment affected enemies +40%, so even more bombardment damage if you want to use your soul bomb. And he also has a Arrancar resonance, so he gets +10% strong attack damage for every Arrancar in your party. This does not stack with other Ulquiorras, but if you have 4 Ulquiorras, you do get that +40% strong attack damage, which means he's going to be hitting really hard. Now he has a Hollow and Espada killer, so he's one of the best units for Espada week, which we'll talk about that later. And where Uryu I think shines a little bit over this Ulquiorra is just the fact that the Uryu has increased status ailment chance against power attribute enemies. Now if they are immune to drain, like they currently are in IT, Uryu can't heal. Uryu won't be able to heal as much as he would like, which can be a bit oof. Now Ulquiorra gets frenzy +2, star power up item in arena. Star power up item in arena is really strong. Arena skills, star power up item +2, increase move uses and poise. Oh, that's really good for Uryu too. Now Uryu's debuff, I want to talk about this as well. He has the debuff mechanic on his special, but it's actually one of the weaker ones. Usually a debuff mechanic on a soul bomb is -80% defense. On Uryu's in particular, it's actually -33%. I wanted to confirm this, so I talked to Soldex, and yeah, no, he actually has a weaker thing. I for a second thought it might have been a glitch in the Matrix, you know what I'm saying, in the BPS simulator Matrix. And yeah, no, it's just a weaker debuff mechanic, which is kind of unfortunate, but yeah. So that's pretty much it for like speed units. I think that these characters being the strongest speed units, in my opinion, and also being in the premium pool is really good. And I see a lot of people complaining when this Ulquiorra came out, but I'm just like, you realize they just released 3 really strong Ulquiorra, like not just Ulquiorra, but they released 3 really strong premium pool units on a end of the month banner that everyone can pull from Brave Soul tickets, bro. Come on, dude. How are you complaining? Either way, let's just get right into it. I want to talk about this Ulquiorra because he's the last in the cycle of characters that we're going to talk about, and he also has the droplet drop, link slot potions, and super link slot potion skill. Those skills make him literally the best farmer for Mind by far. He also has increased status element chance against hard attribute enemies, and he has weakening, which means that you can use him to farm super potions a lot better than a character like Nell. I like Nell, she's pretty good. I don't think she's as strong as she needed to be. I feel like Caleb should have given her increased status element chance instead of damage to drain enemies. And oh yeah, she has drain, so like the enemies are immune to her. Oh, it's so bad, bro. It's so annoying. I don't like that the enemies can be immune to a status element. It's just, in my opinion, it's just bad. Team, party, mind, attribute, or wrong card damage to status element affected enemies plus 40%. This does mean your soul bomb as well, so you have devastation 40%. You weaken the enemy, you also get plus 40% damage on top of the plus 50% weaken damage, so really strong overall. And when you proc your status element, which is weakening, you also get plus 40% extra damage. That's really good. So if you were to deal 100 damage and they were weakened, you would deal 50% because they're weakened times 40%. So you would be dealing, if they're weakened, 110% more damage to them because of those skills. Just those skills, right? Sprinter plus 1, going into the innate skills, team, party, recover 20% stamina, so he heals the party. He has guard break built into him and havoc 20%. Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, he doesn't have guard break. I could have swore he did. But yeah, no, overall, just one of the best farmers in the game. Going into his skills, first strong attack is going to be the 750 vacuum explosion. Attack, strong attack 1, 1080 AoE around himself, second strong attack, and then full screen third strong attack. If you're familiar with 1000-Year Blood War, if you're familiar with this Ichigo, the same second and third strong attack were given to this Ulquiorra. Now, other characters that I want to talk about, because he is a good epic raid farmer, but you also have other really good epic raid farmers. I think that Toshiro still has a place on this list only because he has the debuff mechanic on his special. If we go into the attack, you see the debuff on the soul bomb. You're going to see minus 80% damage. So your entire team is going to be dealing 80% more damage for, I think, about like 10 seconds, I think, something like that. Oh, it actually tells you, hold up. Debuff 10 seconds, yeah. So not only are they going to be debuffed by plus 80% damage to your team for 10 seconds, you're also getting weakened defense, and then you can give him double weakened defense and full stamina damage boost and just literally just haul ass deep into whoever the epic raid boss is. Your entire team will deal plus 60% damage from the weakened defense. Now let me actually clear this. And then an extra 80%. So they're dealing an extra divided by 100. They're dealing an extra 200. If it was 288, that's like frenzy plus 1. Okay, yeah. You're dealing an extra 188% damage to the boss. Stupid. Stupid, actually stupid types of damage from this Toshiro, which is why I don't think that he should be written off too badly, just because he has the droplet drop, link slot potions, just like this Ulquiorra will in epic raids. However, that debuff mechanic and the double weakened defense is just stupidly OP. Not to mention that he has freeze, so the boss gets frozen slightly, so it might stall his attacks just a little bit. Not really all that great, but I mean, it is what it is. So I do like this Toshiro a lot. I think he's definitely worth having. Definitely worth putting in your choose a 6-star. Next, other characters that are really good. Mind Lisa. This Lisa is still incredibly strong. Increased status element chance against all hard attribute enemies. A really good carry for for IT if you don't currently have this Ulquiorra yet. So if you're running with a bunch of Nells, for example, this Lisa is still going to be one of your go-tos if you don't have this Ulquiorra. Next, we do have Lunar New Year Rukia, literally one of the best NAD characters to actually have. She has the booster mechanic. That's literally all you really need to know. The booster mechanic alone means that her boost is going to be boosting more than normal, which means your NAD characters are hitting significantly stronger because you're increasing their attack and focus by a larger margin. She has ailment reversal, so she can't be hit with a status element from an enemy. She can still walk in a puddle. She has Bruiser 60%, Flurry plus 1, range damage plus 10%, 30% in GQ. I personally use her for several weeks, not just a Rankar week. I pretty much use her everywhere, to be honest. If I don't have Yuha or something like that, in the slot, I usually use her. For range Espada week, for ranged Arrancar week, for melee Espada week, I still use her. And that leads me to my other characters that I want to talk about. 7th Anniversary Ichigo, really strong unit, really inconsistent unit with that first strong attack as well as the spiritual pressure boost to 80%. I wish this character had increased status element chance just like Uryu, but he did not get it. If he got it, I think he would be a lot more consistent and I'd recommend him a lot more. But seeing as he's in the premium pool and you can get him 5/5 over time, really nice. The last character I wanted to talk about is Ulquiorra. Now, I don't think he's a must-have or anything like that, but I think that he's worth looking into if you don't have him and you need to just throw, if you feel like the desperate need to throw orbs at something. Him being with Kaka Society Grimmjow could be a good banner to pull on sometimes. I'm not saying you should summon, I'm just saying choose a 6-star comes out, he should be on the selection. This character has a spotted killer. I think that I sub 15 seconds with this character 1 out of 5 by himself. No, wait, no, but not by himself. With Lunar New Year Rukia boosting him by himself. And then if you have Abirama, obviously, like, then you can like haul ass in a spot a week. But this character is really good, and I wanted to make sure I mentioned him just because I really do like the way that this character functions. He has a lot of range collision attacks, which means a lot of hits, which means a higher chance to proc his status ailment attack boost plus 80%, which in my opinion, status ailment attack boost is so much stronger than spiritual pressure boost, unless you're talking about specifically nuking. Attack boost. The reason that status ailment attack boost is so broken is because you kind of want 4,000 attack when you're dealing with. Actually, I should pull it up. Let me do this. Yeah, damn it! I knew this. I knew this video was gonna be long. I apologize. All right, so let's come on, load please. Thank you. So you'll see here my Captain Gin is 2 out of 5, and I try to keep him with above 4,000 attack, right? So like currently I'm rocking 3,600 plus 1,292, pretty much 1,300. I'm running 4,800 attack. When you get status ailment spiritual pressure boost, let's just assume that he doesn't have flurry plus 2, right? Let's just assume that he gets times 1.8. Boom. Your attack goes fucking through the roof. And this is actually relatively accurate when it comes to the Ulquiorra. So he just bypasses the enemy's defense very easily, like freaking butter. I think that the final boss, when he's boosted and the boss is debuffed, because you want to save your soul bomb for the debuff mechanic, and if they're drained or whatever, this character, I think 3 shots the final boss with a NAD string. Like literally his NAD string is usually enough to finish it off. Now, to be fair, he also has the killer effect in GQ, range damage in GQ, but that doesn't, who cares, right? Like I'm talking about GQ in particular. Really strong character. And that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. But yeah, and that's pretty much going to be my list. So like for the must-have characters, in my opinion, I think that Lunar New Year Rukia is one of those characters that you definitely want to go for. I think that Ulquiorra provides a ton of value. Toshiro also provides a ton of value, as well as Lisa. I don't really want to bring up Nell because enemies can be immune to drain. I have never seen enemies immune to weakening. Okay, so the reason I bring these two up are literally epic raids. Since epic raids got revamped, I think epic raids is 100% worth farming. Uryu, Ulquiorra for speed. For speed farming, I think that Akon is very nice to have, especially since he's premium pool. Next, we have Yamamoto. I think Yamamoto is excellent. I probably should have tossed in like characters like Kenpachi and Bruno. Like those characters are still incredibly strong, but I didn't want this. I didn't want to make this video take forever, and I wanted to talk about the epic raid farmers with Nozomi and Yoruichi, Momo for IT. But right now, I think that like in terms of value, if you're gonna spend orbs on a power unit, in my opinion, it should be Yamamoto. That's the main reason I didn't want to bring up like Chad. That's why I didn't want to really bring up Kenpachi, even though I think Kenpachi's cracked as hell. If you get him 2 out of 5, I think he's amazing. As well as characters like Kisuke or Bruno. Very strong characters, but I just wanted to bring up Yamamoto in particular. Next, Aizen still holds up, very strong. I think Heart in general is just really strong. I didn't bring up Safu Yoruichi, but she is also very good contender on this list. She has increased status element chance against all enemies, status element spiritual pressure boost, very easy to get because of her disabler against all the enemies, right? But the fact that this character just shits on everything, it's just absolutely wild. And I love Kaname. I think Kaname, I think they finally did Kaname justice, thank God. And then we also have Toshiro, Retsu, Frenzy +2, Retsu, amazing character, and then Uryu. So those are like my pretty much must-have characters, or at the very least why I consider these characters incredibly valuable. Now I do see us getting a speed or power farming cycle character sometime in the near future. I would say within the next like 2 to 3 months we should have that. I don't know what they're going to be doing for Anniversary. Anniversary is going to be absolutely insane. We've seen it with the Uryu, we've seen it with the 6th Anniversary Aizen, we've seen it with 5th Anniversary Ichigo and Byakuya, we've seen it with 4th Anniversary Mugetsu during his time. And we've seen it with Ulquiorra as well, because Ulquiorra was the first boost and barrier unit. So I mean, damn. Yeah, no, there's a lot to look forward to. I think the game has a lot of life left, even though I think Caleb kind of like straggles their feet a little bit. Make sure to check out the Discord, the official Discord, so that you can actually go over here. Excuse me, I'm clearing my throat. I need more water. Like, if you go into the Discord, you go into other feedback, and you make sure to type in Gold Pupples and Yuki Revamp, please. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna type that in there, and then we're gonna call it a day. But I'm gonna leave it guys as Ground. Catch up. Premium. Stay blessed. Like, comment, subscribe. Anyway, I enjoyed this video. Have a great day. I'll see y'all next one. Peace. I can't believe I was about to include gameplay in this video, and I'm just like, I'm gonna, this video will be like 40 minutes long.